Hi guys, my name is Drew and I'm with Rule and Rain Music, and today we're going to be looking at the making of Amazing Grace. We did this cover a while back ago and it got quite a few views, so we want to take a closer look at that and share that with you. But first I want to say thank you to you guys for watching the videos, for liking us on Facebook, and for subscribing to us. It means a lot to us to keep this thing going, and it really encourages us and motivates us. We really appreciate it. And we also want to thank Roseville Baptist Church for letting Sarah and I come in here a few times a week normally to work on this stuff. Without them and their help, we wouldn't be able to do this either. So we really appreciate this. And we give all the glory to God in these covers. So like I said, today we're going to be looking at Amazing Grace. And last time I did one of these, we talked about All Creatures of Our God and King. And I started that one out by talking about there's different ways we start these covers. When we did All Creatures, we had the song in mind and we just decided where are we going to go with this song. With Amazing Grace, when I started working on this cover, I did not know what song it was going to be. I just found a sound that I liked and started playing around with it, and I found a little riff that I liked. And so then at that point me and Sarah started asking, where do we go with this little riff? So the riff is this, called Plectrum Pad, and it sounds like this. So that was my initial idea. Just that over and over again. I kept playing that, and we were talking what song would go with this, and we decided Amazing Grace might go pretty well. So from that point, I was thinking, how can I implement bass notes into that to give it a chord structure, and turn it into something that would work for a song. Because sometimes you have these ideas like maybe this song would work for it and it doesn't end up working out. Luckily this one did. So here's how I implemented the bass notes a little bit. So there's that. It's a really nice synth sound. Kind of fell in love with it. Couldn't stop playing it when I first got it. So then from there, we could have gone all sorts of different ways with what kind of cover this is going to be. And we ended up going in a direction we've never really gone before, which is more of a Disney or Pixar sound, something you'd hear in kind of like a kid's movie. Which is fun, and I think in one of the posts I said it reminds me of The Lion King. I don't know why that is. It just kind of, you can just kind of see Simba running in the jungle to this song or something. So we bring in these punchy drums and give it sort of a interesting dynamic here on verse 2. I'll leave the voices out. So you can kind of hear the kids' movie, so to speak, inside those sounds. Going forward, we add a lot more texture here on the third verse. Some more drums come in, a bass guitar. Through many dangers, toils, and snares I have already. Another little synth I want to point out too is this analog bubbles deal down here. Before we threw this in, it kind of sounded like this. This is one of those things, textures you don't really hear, but you can feel it. You don't really notice it, but if it was gone, it wouldn't be near as good. So before we added it, it sounded like this. And snares I have already come. So towards the end of each bar, there's a little area where there's not a whole lot going on, and you kind of feel like the whole rhythm and everything needs to keep going a little more. So I added this deal. I'll solo it, so this is all you'll hear. I'll make it a little louder too. It gives each measure a little more life, especially at the end when there's not a whole lot going on. So I have it bumped up now so you can hear it good with the rest of everything. So here it is. Already come, 'tis grace hath brought me safe. But yeah, we keep it nice and layered down, so it's one of those things that you just feel, and it's not kind of too over the top. So we really like that. Added even more textures here on verse 4. You see this timpani here that kind of matches the drums and the stuff we added at the beginning. I just wanted even more punch with that Disney feel. So it's even bigger there. We add this background synth, which is always good to kind of get the feels going a little more, so to speak. Just another one of those things that you feel, but you can't really tell what's going on, but you can feel that there's more there. And when we were trying to build this song, that's what we needed. So that worked out well. We got to the solo, and I found it's kind of hard to find good synth leads that aren't like super obnoxious. And this one was actually really soft, but yet had a lot of energy too. This vintage Doppler here, and I copy pasted it and panned to each ear so that it would just feel really big. I kind of wanted it to sort of dominate when it came in because it's a nice sound. So yeah, real energetic there. I think you guys have noticed in most of these covers at a certain point we bring it down, usually towards the end, usually bring it down and then get to a grand finale, sorta. And it's always fun to decide what is the sound that's going to be sticking out while we bring it down. So since we really liked this initial synth, we kept it going here. The earth shall soon dissolve like snow. The sun. We kind of get right back to where we started with just that synth and Sarah's voice, which is nice to take a step back. But then it's also fun to see how are we going to get back into this whole thing. That is the challenge every time. How can we get this transition to bringing, you can see everything back in here. How do we get from this to this? So this time we kind of slowly added more and more drums in before we added all the rest of the sounds in. So what we did here, you can see some of these things sticking out here. It comes in and it's a little like, ooh, you're surprised to hear certain sounds where they are. I mean, I think that's always a great way to do transitions. So here's what it sounds like. But God who called me here below will be forever mine when we've been good. And then we're right back into it. For the last verse there, the only other thing with this one is I wanted to end with that kind of the drums and with the You know, it kind of seems like there's a drum line a little bit in this song, not like a snare drum line, but it just feels like there's a lot of drums and a lot of people hitting stuff. And so I kind of wanted it to end that way. So you can see here we just added a little bit extra at the end to make that da 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 kind of a motion picture way to end a song, I guess. We wanted to end that really strong, so we turned the velocity up on some of those notes at the end to kind of end on a high note, so to speak. Yeah, so that was kind of the making of Amazing Grace. Let us know what you think down in the comments, and if you haven't given us a subscribe yet, please subscribe and ring the bell. You'll be notified every time we come out with a video. We release videos every Monday and Thursday, and we hope you guys continue to watch, and just thank you so much for your support again. Take care.